now we're back to the movie license game uh,
Yay.
area of Spider-Man. Hi, everybody. How we doing? So, Beanox is first attempt at an open world game, if you get, the certain versions of it, is The Amazing Spider-Man. Because they decided to go back to the open world formula for this. Fine. And it's different. What do you have to say?
I do like how some of the things that they innovated into this game would eventually be polished, streamlined, and everything for Spider-Man PS4.
That's
It
true.
really does feel like that this game was kind of that Insomniac took some inspiration from some mechanics added into this game.
So first things first, this game does not even remotely follow the movie's plot
No, it's a
at
sequel.
all. I don't think it's canon, but it's a sequel.
No, it's not, but it's meant to be a follow-up.
Yeah. This game plays almost nothing like the other open world games.
No.
It's its own beast. And well, how did they do? So let's talk about the story, Patrick.
Yes.
You want to talk about the story?
The story is honestly quite original. It kind of spans off what happened in the movie with Lizard, where Alistair Smythe, if you know anything about him, who is a Spider-Man villain who's kind of very under the radar unless you've seen the 90s animated series, and then he's like very prominent because the Spider Slayers had a big role in the 90s show.
Yeah, they did.
And in the comics, that's what his dad helped create, were the Spider Slayers. Where they were working on what did they call them? Hybrids?
Crossbreed, like the crossbreeds.
Yeah, crossbreeds.
I think it's Rhino,
Scorpion, Vermin.
Oh, that's right. Vermin was one of them.
I think it was just those three, where they were half humans, half rat, scorpion,
and Rhino,
and Spider-Man was half spider, obviously. And they were considered like an infestation. Oh yeah, and then Connors was part lizard, obviously. They were considered like mutants spreading a disease around New York that would turn other people into crossbreeds. So they created Spider Slayers to hunt down the crossbreeds, and it turns into a Spider Slayer story after a while.
Yeah, because there's just giant robots everywhere.
Oh yeah, the boss fight where you fight the giant robot's worm busting out of Oscorp Tower was so bizarre.
Dude, it really was, though.
But honestly, the Spider Slayer fights are some of the best parts just because these are some of the most aggressive Spider Slayers I've ever seen in any Spider-Man media. These things are ridiculous.
I swear this game and this universe was trying to make Oscorp the new Hydra. That's what it felt like.
Chalk that up to the Ultimate Universe. The Amazing movies took a lot of inspiration from the Ultimate books, and Oscorp
Yeah,
and
that
the
sounds
Ultimate
about
books
right.
Oscorp and the Ultimate books was pretty. Because in the main continuity, Oscorp really isn't anything bad. It's just that Osborn's a piece of crap. But
I apologize. There was a cat doing cat things. But it ends. Kurt Connors becomes the Lizard again, and
yeah, Connors kind of figures out how to cure people, and then he goes Lizard, and then you still have to end up fighting Lizard at the end. But
he's the final boss. So
yeah, but the main antagonist of this plot is Alistair Smythe.
Yeah, he is.
And to be perfectly honest with you, I know we abbreviated it very poorly, but genuinely the plot of this game is really good.
Yeah, it's a better plot than the last couple games.
Yeah, because they had to force in movie plot into something they wanted to make completely original. But I like the approach that this one took of it being still tied to the movie, but it being a completely original story.
Yeah, because
It helped a lot.
something we did complain about in the other 3 movie games is the stories were borderline bad.
They were past jobs.
This one, they were like, you know what, we're not even going to try. We're not even going to try. We're just going to make up something. Excuse me. Which I appreciate.
Yeah. And it, as a standalone Spider-Man story, it is really good. And it's also nice that they chose to use a villain who doesn't really get much screen time.
He's in the second movie.
Yeah. No, who, Smythe?
Yeah.
Was he?
He's in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I don't remember that.
They name drop him.
Oh.
Max Dillon name drops him. He's like, Mr. Smythe, and then gets on an elevator.
The only thing I'm really disappointed about with this game's plot is that they didn't have Smythe go full.
Smythe.
Yeah, if you've seen the animated series, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think that would have been a better final boss for the story than Lizard. But
yeah,
but they wanted to tie it into the movie somehow, so okay.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the gameplay, do not go into this thinking it's Spider-Man 2, because it's not.
No.
Like, you don't attach to buildings anymore.
Yeah, it's an open world game, but the web's attached to the sky. It's so bizarre because it's the only open world Spider-Man game that really does this.
It is. It's really strange, and I don't know why.
Like, I don't get it.
Why? So I mean, it works. Like, you eventually just kind of accept it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's something that needs to be pointed out. The wall crawling is kind of awkward. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot to do with the way they chose to do the camera angle.
Oh yeah, the camera angle was intentionally put like as close to him as possible because the developer said that they wanted to kind of emulate the rush of dive bombing through New York City.
It reminds me a lot of Arkham.
Well, funny you actually mentioned that.
Yeah, because we're getting there.
Yeah.
Because the combat system is almost 1-to-1 Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. This is the first Spider-Man game, well, the first open world Spider-Man game to come out since the Arkham games had come out. And I had been saying this even when around the time when Arkham City came out, that Spider-Man could actually benefit from being done up in the Arkham style. They would just need to stylize Spider-Man to fit his own abilities and power set and everything. Because Batman and Spider-Man don't fight the same in the comics.
Not even a little.
But
and
this game just flat out copy and pasted the Batman Arkham combat engine. It's not bad. It feels a lot more stiff than Batman's.
It's very passable.
Yeah. It's just good enough to be considered good.
And barely.
Yeah.
Like, it gets the job done, but the combat wouldn't be elevated until I'd say PS4. Like,
yeah, because they did what I suggested, and that was stylize it to fit Spider-Man's combat engine more.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man is not a take one guy down in a horde like Batman thing is. He flings himself across the arena and throws stuff at people.
Yeah, whereas this is very much Arkham Asylum. And don't get me wrong, I love the Arkham games. I love them, but Spider-Man and Batman do not have the same fighting style. They just don't. Like, Spider-Man is a lot more acrobatic than Batman is, so he should be bouncing around, bouncing off of walls, webbing people up. And this one, I think he even has a counter.
He does.
Yeah, that's wrong. But it gets the job done. At first, when I was playing this game, I didn't know it was the Batman Arkham system, so I was like, wait, how do you fight? And then I was like, oh, it's Batman.
Yeah, it's just Batman.
And now, Patrick, I guarantee you is going to 100% agree with me on this. It's got nothing on the Arkham games.
No.
Not even close.
No.
But it gets the job done. I will say, I think this does feel better to play than its sequel, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Graphically, it's all right.
It looks better. The open world looks better than the character models do.
Which, the only character model that looks decent is Spider-Man himself.
Yeah. And I will say this game's lighting engine has no reason being as good as it is.
That's true.
Like, this game has a really good lighting engine for some reason.
And what is cool is there are different weather effects for the open world.
Yeah.
And you get to pick it every time you go out, which is neat. Also, there are comic books to collect everywhere. But if I'm honest, I don't find traversal as fun in this as Spider-Man 2 or Ultimate or Web of Shadows, simply because of the camera angle. I just find it awkward. For web swinging, it just like when Batman started gliding, the camera would pan back.
Yeah.
And you would see him glide. This game doesn't do that. It's just you're always in that weird like Resident Evil 4 or Dead Space or something like that, where the character's slightly to the left.
Yeah.
That game, unless you're in a combat sequence, this game always has that camera angle, and it is.
And it was by design too.
Yeah, but it makes web swinging feel really weird, and web zipping also feels really weird.
Yeah, because they implemented this new mechanic called what was it called?
I know what you're I know what you're talking about.
I'm just gonna call it Web Rush for now. Basically, how it worked was if you hit the Web Rush button just spontaneously, Spider-Man would zip to the nearest kind of zip point location, and he would auto run along sides of buildings and everything. But if you held the button down, you could slow down time and manually look around for as many points as possible to zip to. This would eventually be fine-tuned to the zip point system that the PS4 games had, which just flows so much better.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait to talk about those games.
But this was kind of the predecessor to that. Because it was basically that same thing. He zips to certain locations. It's just that in PS4, he doesn't auto run after it.
Yeah, there's a lot about this game that, honest to God, bugs me. However, I can say with a straight face, it is not a bad game.
No, it's
not. At
not.
all. I prefer it to Edge of Time in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. I prefer this to, let's say, Enter Electro, the first movie game.
I would say maybe mechanically it's better than Spider-Man 2 and Ultimate, but it's not nearly as fun to play as those two.
Not even close. I'd much rather play those two.
Yeah, they're probably worse games, but they're just more fun. So,
yeah, they have more fun stories. Well, Ultimate has a more fun story for me. I should clarify. What? I think this is Beanox's best game, Spider-Man game. I think of all the Beanox games, this is their best one, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think Shattered Dimensions has a fair case to be considered better.
Shattered Dimensions is not a bad game.
I could see why you would say that though, because this game is a lot more, I guess, fleshed out than Shattered Dimensions is.
I think Shattered Dimensions is more polished though.
Yes, it is. I'm not going to debate that, but it feels like this game has a lot more longevity in terms of its replay value.
There's a lot more to this than Shattered Dimensions. Where Shattered Dimensions, once you beat it, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. There are unlockable costumes in this, and I think the Raimi suits are in there.
Yeah, that's the only like traditional Spider-Man costume you can really get is the Raimi suit.
Yeah, because he doesn't have like
this game's alternate costume selection is kind of weak.
Isn't the black suit from Spider-Man 3 one of them?
No, it's a Spider-Man 3 black suit stylized amazing movie costume.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's the amazing movie suit done up in the same style as the Spider-Man 3 black suit. It looks cool. But it's weird as to why it exists.
That is really weird. Okay, sure. Also, voice acting wise, this is not Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, they didn't get the movie people for this.
Who I think he's a great Spider-Man, but he did not reprise his role for this game, or the second one for that matter. I don't know who this guy is, but he's not bad.
I know who he is. I just can't remember his name. He was Donatello in the 4Kids Turtles show.
Oh, he was Donatello? Okay.
Yeah. I know his voice. I just can't remember his name.
I don't think he's a bad Spider-Man, necessarily.
No, he did the job well.
But there are a lot of Spider-Man voice actors I would put above him. Like, I think Christopher Daniel Barnes, Reno Romano, Josh Keaton, Yuri Lowenthal, I think they're all above this guy.
He's still better than the Web of Shadows guy.
We don't talk about that.
Where's Gage at the shirts party?
That guy was... Jesus Christ. What the... Now, this game was available on the PlayStation 3 and 360. The Wii U version did not have the open world, which is weird.
More the 3DS version.
I can understand the 3DS version. Why the Wii U version?
Man, the Wii U is such an anomaly.
The Wii U, dude, I could make a whole video about why the Wii U was not great.
But honestly, it made the 3DS version seem kind of impressive.
Yeah, no, it did.
Because it actually ran relatively clean for it being literally just the levels for the console game put in the handheld.
Jeez, this was on everything. PS3, 360, Vita, Wii U, Wii, 3DS, DS.
There was a DS version?
Yeah.
Now, if it's in 3D like the 3DS version...
No, okay. The Wii U version did have an open world. The Wii version did.
There was a Wii version?
Oh. Yeah, that's the version that didn't have an open world. Okay.
I'm just now learning that this game had a Wii and DS version.
I just looked it up. And see, even my dog's upset about this. It was only a matter of time before he introduced himself. So we're getting down to the wire here before we get to Insom Spider-Man. There's only one more game left.
Yes, there is.
Hello. And it's ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. What can I say about this one?
I guess you'll find out next time. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back soon for Amazing Spider-Man 2. Until then, I am not ending this video for the end of the barking. Take care.